Are at the Dallas International Film Festival in Dallas, Texas. We have my man.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Aaron Golden. I'm the co-writer and producer of As Easy as Closing Your Eyes.
So, we just watched an incredible short film that you guys gotta watch, and this is the director, like we just heard, and you gotta hear some great things. The first question I wanted to ask you, what inspired you the short film, and can you tell everybody what this is about?
Absolutely. One quick correction. I'm not the director. I'm the co-writer and producer, but the director Parker is a good friend of mine, and he's the man. So the short is it's about a drug that gives people dreams about their dead loved ones. And it was inspired by this book that talked about how the way our brains work is that our neurons organize around each person that we meet. So when someone dies and people say it felt like they lost a piece of themselves that day, technically that's kind of true because those neurons that person, flashed will never be charged again. So the movie's about them designing a drug that targets those neurons, but the drug is dangerous and addictive and causes problems to the users.
So when I watched it, I was literally going crazy because it literally made me tear up because I have a sibling. Her name's Gabby, for all you that know. And when I saw the drug happening and the lady that was in the film work, I literally started just thinking about like, dang, would I do something like that? For you, that maybe some of you guys that watch Naruto, you guys probably would know if you're an anime fan, you probably would see like the Tsukiyami. You would literally know that they would literally go into their dreams and they wanted to turn it into reality. Then my next question is, what was like, I don't know, like when you think about the movie or this short film, like what's different from like the short film versus the feature? What are some big differences?
So the short film is about a young mother who's lost her son and she takes the drug to see the boy again. The feature is actually about a widower who lost his first wife. She died and now he's remarried and he's rebuilding his life. And a good friend of his loses his partner and tells him about the drug. So the feature really expands on a lot of the things you saw in the short. The short is sort of the distilled, condensed version, but the feature is about maybe more of a love story, like a romantic love story, whereas the short is about the love between a mother and a child.
And then my last question before we get to the next person, who do you relate to the most in this short? Like which character do you identify the most and you feel like that would be like, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. So the brother in the movie, played by Sean Marquette, named Kieran, he starts with a story about working in the service industry in LA. Let's just say that may be some personal experiences.
Right.
So that's certainly the character for me that I think was the most deeply sort of just from my experiences from the soul. Definitely the brother.
Perfect. And then my last question, Aaron, and I was going to tell you, you have a great beard, by the way.
Hey,
that's the first thing. That was the first thing I noticed.
You took care of it before. You gotta take care of it before you're on the red carpet.
Because when I was like, oh, he definitely just got that done.
You gotta look sharp, right? You gotta be clean.
What was your favorite part of the whole movie?
Yeah, I think. Let me see. I mean, that's an interesting question. I think for me, there's this sequence where they go up to the top of a mountain and they fly this airplane. And I think for me, like every time I see it, it just sort of takes me out of the fact that I was a part of producing and writing this thing, and I just get like sort of bowled over by what I'm watching. I think it's emotional. I think it's beautiful. Every time it happens, I'm so happy. And Laura is a dear friend of mine who you're about to talk to, and I went to college with, and she plays our lead. And I love watching her performance so much. I'll watch it all day long.
Perfect. Well, I just wanted to thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Kyle. Yeah,
I just love that. You're from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast.
Yeah, sweet.
So we got the
meeting up in Dallas. I love it. I love it.
Perfect. So we have the main lead here. We have Laura, and she played Lila. And you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Laura Coover. I am originally from Chicago, and I've lived in LA for about 12 years. Aaron and I went to college together. We're great friends. And when I read his script, I was just like overcome and so excited and like really hoping that it would work out, that I got to do it, and I did. So I feel very lucky.
That's perfect. And you're originally from Chicago, right?
Yep.
So all my Chicago fans, Caleb Williams, if we're football fans, here it is. But
Bears.
Go Bears. Oh, okay, I'm not a Bears fan, unfortunately. The Bears. But my question is for you, because when you were in the movie, like I really could connect with the whole grief and the emotional part. How did you like prepare yourself and get ready for that? Especially like, did you have to do like 6 months of like doing something? Because I know like Jenna Ortega, for her when she does like horror roles, she'll like literally go to graveyards and do all this stuff just so she gets in the right mindset. Like, what did you do to prepare for this?
I was it was one of the, should I take this?
That'd be perfect.
It was one of those rare experiences as an actor where you get a script and like immediately feel a connection to it. Like I think I read it and I was crying when I was reading it, which is like, oh, that's so easy because then it's already there and I just have to like get out of the way.
Right.
So in terms of prep, like it's written so well and the scenario is so well captured that I feel like it was easy. And I think that part of it just connected with some past relationships that I've had, some conflicts and struggles that I've had that just, it was just right there. So it felt pretty easy just to kind of give over, especially because I was working with incredible co-stars. Sean is excellent, Dawson's excellent, Aaron and Parker are collaborators that I really trust and feel comfortable and safe with. And so, yeah, it was easy.
Do you have siblings or do you have kids by any chance?
I do not have kids, but I have 3 older brothers, and I have people that I love who struggle with substance. And so I think that was probably a little bit of a way to tap into some of those relationships and some of the grief is because it's from lived experience.
Right.
But yeah, I have 3 big brothers, and a lot of, what Sean was doing with Kieran really resonated and felt very familiar in that way.
Right, because when I saw, my favorite part of the movie was the let's get weird part. Literally, I started laughing because in that moment, me and my sisters are really close, and I literally started bawling because I was like, wow, I wouldn't, but I know I would just because it's like, especially my baby sister, she's 7 years younger, so I practically raised her, and I was just like, in that moment, it literally just made me start tearing up because I was just like, but I wasn't trying to cry in person. In a good way, right?
Cheers.
So, and then you're a camera apprentice with them. It felt like you guys were siblings. Like, how did you guys like get that to match that energy? Just because you guys are already good friends and stuff?
I mean, I actually just met Sean on the film, in an audition, and Aaron had mentioned this that we did a lot. They did a lot of auditions, and I saw a lot of the tapes, and we read with a lot of different options. And when Sean came in, it was just undeniable. Like there was just like an organic ease, and he made it very easy, and like it fit like puzzle pieces. And so something about, I think that we both care about the project a lot and loved it, so we came into it with really open hearts and just a lot of love for Aaron and Parker, and it was just like lightning in a bottle in a way, everything falling into place.
And then my last question is, what's next for you? Like, what's the next big thing?
Yeah,
before we all know, before I get the autograph and everything.
I co-wrote a feature with my husband, Rocky Russo, and my very good friend, Laura Campbell. It's called Luke, and we are ready to get it financed and get it made, and highly considering shooting it in Texas. So, yeah.
Our last final question is, what was the most challenging scene for you?
Most challenging, I think, gosh, I had a hard time with the airplane scene because it was very hot. It was like Texas hot. It was like 100 degrees.
You don't like the heat at all?
We were outside for a very long time, and like I just was delirious. Like I didn't know where the camera was. Like the plane wasn't flying right. It was like very physically stressful. So that was the only time when I was like, I don't know how this is gonna come off. I don't know how this is gonna look, but obviously it came out really well. So.
Which area in Cali? What desert?
Gosh, Aaron, where was the airplane scene?
Valley? It's the Las Virgenes Canyon.
Las Virgenes Canyon, up in the valley.
Once I seen that, I was like, oh, I know they're hot. So this is a question for you, Aaron. How did you know what casting was like? How did you know she was the right person, and then Kieran was the right person?
So there's a casting director I talked to, and she said that casting can be kind of easy because there's only one. In the end, there's only one person for each role.
Right.
So you see tapes, you see people, and you see they bring certain energies. And I don't know that you can tangibly talk about what Laura brings to the role. I think Laura commands the screen, and I think there's a way that Laura, there's a little bit of, I don't know, it's like pain or something in certain ways that she experiences certain scenes. And I think for this character who's pretending that everything is okay, but but in her eyes there's just a little twinkle that something's not right. I think Laura can bring that, like it's one of her superpowers as an actor. It's like it's that tiny thing behind the eyes that something is in. And then I mean Sean just fit like a glove. Sean came on after Laura, and his callback with Laura had us all weeping. I mean, like we have footage of that callback where there wasn't a dry eye in the room, and we saw a lot of great actors. I mean, truly, there's so many great people, but there's only one person for each role.
Right.
That's
How
the
many
truth.
days was it? Like,
Of casting?
Yeah.
I mean, there was the original. I mean, we had a lot of tapes. I mean, you do a lot of like online tape sending in, so you go through those tapes. You get callback tapes, and then we did like virtual Zooms, and then the last couple people, like especially like the kid, like Dawson, we had to see how Dawson was in a room. It's one thing to see, but like you're going to be working with this little 6-year-old kid, like you got to see how they are in the room. So it was great. But yeah, so we had like one final couple days, but it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. It's a big process to cast even a short film. It really is.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we did a short film. It took us 2 days just to find the right actor, and then after we found it, we were like, "Ooh, that wasn't it."
Yeah, it can
We had
happen.
to recast.
That can happen. I can believe it happens all the time. We were really lucky that
Our casting
Yeah,
director,
yeah.
and
She's a
she
beast.
did a lot of legwork and put tendrils out a lot of different directions and really helped find the right people to
Absolutely.
fill out the cast.
Right. For all you audience, the director, co-director, and some tidbits, they're going to ask and tell you some insider scoop. So the question is, how do I get casted or get a cameo?
Well, like I said, there's only one person for each role, so you better be that one person. You better bring one person energy to the role.
What do you mean? Because you better kill that audition.
You better kill it. Take it serious, Absolutely.
What did you do to kill it?
I just responded to the writing and enjoyed the experience of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I feel like I got lucky.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope it's not as hot for you. It's been 100 degrees. But luckily, it was 90 today. So that's good. Right? But thanks, guys. We're out.
Thanks, guys.